Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, then welcome. My name is Christina, and on my channel we talk all things beauty from my own experiences. So if you're looking for the best and most honest how-tos and reviews from a consumer's perspective, then make sure you subscribe to my channel, you like this video, and you leave any comments that you have for me down below. Kosas has recently come out with a new foundation called the Revealer Foundation. It's supposed to couple really well with the Kosas Revealer Concealer, which is one of my all-time favorite concealers. So if you guys are interested in seeing how this works for me, then continue watching. I have used this foundation before, so it's not a first impression. I'm going to show you guys a little demo of it on my skin, give you my thoughts on what I've been able to gather the last couple times that I've worn it, and all of the specs and all those good things. So if you're interested, then let's go ahead and get started. Also, can you guys tell me if my hair looks absolutely crazy? Because I'm trying out a new wand because I'm thinking that maybe I want to stop doing the perms for no particular reason other than the fact that I'm just kind of tired of styling it all the time. And I don't know, I just kind of want to give my hair a break. So if this ends up doing well and giving me like long-lasting curls, I may do this unless you think I look absolutely insane. Comment down below and let me know. So Kosas announced last month that they were coming out with a new foundation that was essentially the foundation version of the concealer, the Revealer Concealer. And I started using that concealer religiously last year, I believe it was, and I went through 3 tubes of it. Maybe it's been 2 years now because it seems kind of insane that I've gone through 3 tubes of the same concealer because that doesn't happen very often, if at all. I would say the only times that really has happened is with that one and the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. So they came out with this new foundation. The shade that I picked up is Medium Neutral Warm 230. I was really excited about this shade because, as you know, I am a neutral undertone, but this is a neutral warm. So it pulls a little warmer on the neutral side. So it's still a neutral, but a little warmer. So that was really interesting to me. They do have 36 shades of the foundation, and it's $42. You can purchase it on Kosas's website, on Sephora's website, and I believe in stores now as well. Now, something to note is that Kosas does have sets on their website. So if you're interested in getting the foundation as well as the concealer, as well as the powder and all those things, you have a lot more options doing it through Kosas's website than you do with Sephora. So if you've never tried Kosas before, I would highly recommend that you take advantage of the sets because honestly, a lot of the things, pretty much everything I think that I've tried from them, I've really enjoyed. And they've just become staples for me because their products are just so wearable for an everyday type of thing. So reading from their website here, this is a medium coverage SPF treatment foundation. So this is interesting to me because I just assumed it was a regular foundation. However, the way that they describe how to use it in the directions on their website as well as on the box, it's more of a sunscreen. So it says to apply liberally 15 minutes before sun exposure. So same thing as a sunscreen. So this does have SPF 25. However, for me, I like to wear a separate SPF every day just because you never know how much actual sun protection you're getting from something like, say, a moisturizer with SPF or a foundation with SPF because it completely relies on how much of that product you use. So with a sunscreen, you're able to apply it as much or as little as you need in that moment. It says that it instantly blends like a second skin to blur visible smooth texture and minimize pores. It has hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, peptides, squalane, vitamin B5, arnica, and caffeine. So it does have skincare ingredients in there. However, I will say if you want to be able to see those long-term, long-lasting results, you will probably have to wear this every day for quite a long time. Not like hours-wise, but like every day for, I don't know, a couple weeks, you know? So just to keep that in mind as well. When you pick a shade on the website, it'll show you shade pairings. So the shade you would be in the concealer as well as the shade you would be in the Cloud Set setting powder. If you're unsure of your shade, then you can refer back to the website. Let's see if I kind of was in the right tone. Oh, it says my concealer would be tone 5. and Cloud Set and Comfy. I have Pillowy and my concealer is in tone 6. That's nice to have if you're buying stuff online or you just want like a second opinion on something. So I'll link their website down below for you guys so you can see exactly where you can purchase it. And the photography for the product, I just am obsessed with it. As you guys know, I am a product photographer for beauty, so that kind of stuff really stands out to me. And I just love Kosas's aesthetic. I know that has nothing to do with the actual product, but I just thought I would throw that in there. Maybe I should do my brows real quick. So to do my brows, I'm going to use my Anastasia Brow Freeze along with my Benefit 24 Hour. Fill it in with my Morphe pencil, the micro brow in Cold Brew. So let me go do that really quickly. So I am going to go in with a primer because I typically will use a primer before using foundations, and I want to show you guys exactly how I would use the foundation on an everyday basis and how it would realistically sit on my skin, you know? So I'm going to use this Juno & Co. Moonshine Miracle Cream right here. I like this. It almost just feels like a moisturizer, to be honest. So when I feel like my skin is a little dull, a little dry, or if it's just been a little while since I've done my skincare routine, I'll use something like this because it's really moisturizing and it just gives my skin sort of like a refresh before putting foundation on it. So I wanted to show you guys what the foundation looks like compared to the concealer. So as you can see, they're pretty much spot on. Like you can obviously tell they were made for each other. So this is just like a giant tube of the concealer. I'm gonna go ahead and shake this up. So the way that I have applied this so far has been with a brush and I believe with a sponge. I do think that I prefer it with a brush just because it gives me a little more coverage, and then I'll go in with my sponge to tap out any excess that I have. Because it's seen as sort of a sunscreen, I could assume that you can apply it with your fingertips as well and then just blend it out however you wish to afterwards. So I'm just going to go ahead and dot some on, and I really like this shade. I think that it worked really well for me. So I'm going to go ahead and use this Sigma Concealer Blend Kabuki. Now I will say that this foundation has a very strong fragrance to it. The concealer doesn't have the same fragrance that I've noticed, but this definitely has sort of a floral scent to it, and I was a little disappointed because at first I thought it was just the soap I was using for my brushes, but no, it's the concealer, the foundation. So just keep that in mind if you're sensitive to fragrances. But you can see this blended in so very nicely on the skin, and it looks very hydrated. As you guys know, I really like natural hydrated looking foundations on my skin currently. That's like the look I go for. And you can see it hasn't completely covered everything on my face because it is a medium coverage. I would say it's like more of a light medium. And then I'm gonna take another pump and apply this to the other side of my face. The scent does linger for a little while, like as I'm doing my makeup, it's lingering, but by the time I'm done and I set it and everything, it's pretty much gone. There are 36 shades on the website. There are a ton of options, almost too many options, because I was debating on like 2 or 3 shades, I think. I don't know if this is my perfect shade. It seems to work pretty well for me. Who's to say there's not a better shade on there? I don't know, but I think that they lay it out pretty well on their website. As you can see, the complexion is looking very hydrated, very dewy. This one is not extremely like greasy looking in my opinion. I would probably spot set this with powder if I wanted to keep the face looking really like, you know, natural. I don't necessarily find it's important to set the entire face with like a heavy set of powder. If you're going for more of a matte finish, then you are going to have to set this. But if you're dry or if you're combo, I think that this would be a really nice product to use if you go for those types of like natural, like this is my skin, but it's perfected skin look, you know what I mean? I'll show you guys a little bit of a close-up. You can still see my freckles right here. If you put on layer and layer, it's probably going to start looking quite greasy. But let's go ahead and use just a little bit more of this foundation on the fingertips, and I'm just going to go ahead and blend it over my freckles just to see where we can get. I'm still going to use my concealer, but I just want to test this out for you guys, obviously, because that's what this video is about. you can still see my very prominent freckles, but all of the like small, sort of lighter ones are a little bit more toned down here. And I'm going to avoid under my eyes because I am going to be using that concealer as well. And I'm just going to take my blender and just blend that out as well as the rest of the face, just pulling up any excess that I may have. I really think that this foundation sits really well on my forehead, actually. I feel like it just looks like really good skincare, and I enjoy that look because if anywhere, my forehead can look pretty cakey. Okay, again, this is the foundation. Now let me go ahead and put the concealer on camera so you guys can see it together. So this is in the shade number 6, and I'm gonna put it in the darker areas under my eyes, a little bit right here because I do have a little triangle of darkness right there by my eye. And I'm gonna do my smile lines because I have a bit of like deeper lines right there. I did like sort of a light layer for me, okay? For me, it's a light layer. So I have this IT Cosmetics brush right here, and I'm gonna take the smaller end to just blend it out, and then I'll blend out further with that same brush that I used to apply the foundation. All right, so this is the foundation and concealer blended out and blended in together. The concealer in the shade number 6 seems to match pretty much identically to the shade I got in my foundation. Is identically a word? I don't know. If you're looking for a foundation, or sorry, if you're looking for the concealer to be a little more brightening, then I would go with tone number 5 that it recommends on the website. And I say all of this to further approve of their shade pairings on the website. I think it is accurate. I do think that it would work really well if you're shopping online versus in store and being able to swatch it on your hands and stuff. I think it looks beautiful. I mean, they work really well together. Honestly, the finish of both of them pretty much the same. Like if you wanted to use the concealer as foundation, or if you were using the concealer as foundation, because I was using this like to spot conceal and stuff and then just powder the rest of my face, you could essentially, you know, do that with this, and you could probably even skip the concealer and just use the foundation. Totally up to you. I would pair them together just because that's what I would typically do. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my face makeup. I'm going to be sticking to creams and just like a light layer of everything really, and I'll be back to share with you guys my final thoughts. Alrighty guys, this is my final face done here. So I have my Kosas foundation concealer. I have set with my Kosas powder in the shade Pillowy. I love this. I can use this pretty much with any foundation when I'm looking for very light powder coverage. This is not anything like, say, the Laura Mercier translucent powder. That is definitely going to give you a lot more of a set finish with a powder than this will. This kind of just like gets rid of any excess. After everything is said and done, like I put on a cream bronzer, a cream blush, and obviously sometimes that can kind of take off and remove the foundation or concealer underneath. I find that with the products that I've used with it so far, which have been like the Makeup by Mario bronzer, my Tower 28 cream blushes, my Rare Beauty blushes, I've used all of those things with this foundation so far, and I will say that it does kind of come off from underneath. Now, is that the complexion, the foundation, or is it the cream blush and bronzer? It's hard to say, but I will say consistently it has been the case. With all of that being said, my conclusion with it is that you have to be very careful with how you apply your creams on top of this, because there is a possibility that it will come off or it will transfer or whatever the case may be. So I will argue that this foundation itself is more of a light medium coverage from what I'm used to. So this kind of falls in the same range as like tinted moisturizers. Even though it has that nice like hydrated finish to it, it doesn't feel greasy or anything. And whenever I check in the mirror and stuff, it looks pretty much the same. Like I feel like I don't look excessively oily or like my oils have produced extremely like an increased amount since I applied the foundation. Oh my gosh, look how cute that curl is. You know what I think it is? So this foundation is supposed to feel and look like a second skin, and I think what's missing for me whenever I've worn this and I'm looking for a little extra oomph is the fact that it looks like I put foundation on. Do you know what I mean? Like, this looks so similar to my skin with skincare, like after I do my skincare routine. This foundation sits so similarly to my skin that I'm almost like, do I look like I'm wearing makeup? You know what I mean? So if that's what you're going for, this is a really great option. But if you want something that'll make you look even more put together, like a medium coverage foundation that makes you look really put together, then this wouldn't be the one for you, to be honest. So who is this foundation ideal for? I think that if someone is looking for an everyday foundation that looks a little more put together throughout the day, this would be a really good option for you. And if you don't necessarily like wearing sunscreen throughout the day, but I urge you to, I really do. But if you like for your products to have SPF in it so you can skip that step, then this would be a really good option for you. It is $42 for this bottle, I will say, but you are getting sort of like a sunscreen as well as a foundation in one, but it definitely is pricey. I think there are other foundations that are just as good that are cheaper than this. I will continue to use this. This will probably be in rotation with tinted moisturizers and stuff like that versus being in rotation with my staple foundations that I would wear like on a night out. I have worn this on a night out. It looks really great in photos. I don't have any white cast or any issues like that, even though it has the SPF in it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little demo and you like how it looks on my skin. Let me know your thoughts on it and if you've tried this foundation out and what your thoughts are with your experiences as well. And I just love the concealer so much that I feel like I need the foundation. I know that that's a bad justification, but that's just how I have thought about it. So yeah, that's everything for this video, guys. I hope that you found it helpful. And if you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this one. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.